I'm 82 years old now, and I've been married for 62 of those years. My wife is gone, and the house is quiet in a way I still haven't learned how to live with. I'm not telling this because I want sympathy. I'm telling it because there isn't much time left, and some truths don't feel right staying locked inside a person this late in life. Most days, I sit at the kitchen table alone. Same table we bought in 1971. One leg still wobbles. I never fixed it. I keep meaning to. That's how a lot of things went in our life together. I kept meaning to. When you're young, you don't understand how slow damage works. You think ruin is loud. You think it announces itself. But the things that hollowed out our happiness did it quietly while we were busy doing what we thought was right. People used to say we were a good couple, reliable, solid. 62 years married sounds like a victory when you say it out loud. But longevity and happiness aren't the same thing. We lasted, that's true. But we lost pieces of ourselves along the way, and by the time I noticed, they were already gone. I don't tell this story to rewrite my life. That's not possible. I tell it because someone listening still has time to notice what I didn't.
The first mistake was believing there would always be more time. When we got married, I was 20 and she was 19. We were young enough to believe time was generous, endless really. We talked about things we'd do someday, trips, long conversations, fixing little tensions, saying things we felt but didn't know how to say yet. Someday felt safe, someday felt responsible. I took a job at a manufacturing plant. It paid steady, long hours, but it was honest work. She stayed home with the kids when they came. We were tired all the time, but we told ourselves that was just the season we were in. Seasons pass. That's what people say. I missed dinners. Not all of them, but enough. I missed bedtime sometimes. I told myself I'd make it up on the weekend. Then the weekend came, and I was tired, or distracted, or already thinking about Monday. She would say, "We should talk." And I'd say, "Tonight's not great. Can we do it tomorrow?" Tomorrow always sounded reasonable. We weren't fighting. That's what fooled me. We weren't in crisis. We were functioning. Bills paid, kids fed, house standing. But connection doesn't survive on functioning. It needs attention. It needs presence. And I kept putting presents off, assuming I could catch up later. Later never showed up the way I expected. The second mistake was choosing duty over closeness, over and over again. I thought being a good husband meant being dependable, being strong, not complaining, carrying weight quietly. My father was like that. Men didn't talk much. They showed love by showing up to work. So that's what I did. When she cried, I tried to fix the problem instead of sitting with her. When she was upset with me, I heard it as criticism instead of hurt. I didn't ask many questions. I didn't know how. There were nights she wanted to talk about her fears, about feeling invisible, about feeling like she disappeared into being a wife and a mother. I listened halfway. My mind would wander to schedules and responsibilities. I thought listening meant being physically present, not emotionally available. I didn't understand that closeness requires vulnerability, not reliability. I was proud of being needed. I was less comfortable being known. Over time, she stopped trying to explain herself, not out of anger, out of exhaustion. Explaining your inner life to someone who doesn't really enter it wears you down. I noticed the silence but misread it. I thought things were smoother, less conflict. I thought that meant we were doing better. we weren't. We were drifting politely. The third mistake was letting resentment sit unspoken. This one is harder to admit because it's not flattering. I had my own disappointments, dreams that didn't happen, paths I didn't take. I told myself that was adulthood, sacrifice. Everyone does it. But I didn't process that grief. I swallowed it. And when you swallow things long enough, they come out sideways. I'd get irritated over small things. The way she folded towels, the way she interrupted me, the way she forgot something I mentioned in passing. None of it was really about towels or interruptions. I felt unseen too. But instead of saying that, I became sharp, distant, quietly critical. She felt it. Of course she did. We both started keeping score without ever saying so. Who did more? Who gave more? Who compromised more? The marriage turned into a ledger instead of a relationship. There were moments we could have cleared the air, nights when the house was quiet and the kids were asleep, opportunities to say, "I'm not okay," or "I miss you," or even, "I'm angry and I don't fully know why." But saying those things felt risky, so we didn't. Resentment doesn't explode. It settles. It becomes the background noise of a life. You stop noticing it, but it's always there. The fourth mistake was assuming love would take care of itself. This might be the most dangerous belief of all. I thought love, once established, was permanent, like a foundation. You build it, and then you live on it. I didn't realize it needs maintenance, not grand gestures, small, consistent care. I stopped courting my wife. Not intentionally, I just stopped noticing. I didn't ask about her inner world anymore. I didn't learn who she was becoming as the years passed. I loved the version of her I married, but I didn't stay curious about the woman she was turning into. She aged. I aged. Our bodies changed. Our roles shifted. But our conversation stayed shallow. We talked logistics, schedules, groceries, family news. We rarely talked about us. I thought stability was enough. I didn't understand that emotional neglect can exist even in a peaceful home. The cost of these mistakes didn't arrive all at once. It showed up in missed moments. The way she stopped reaching for my hand in public. The way we sat farther apart on the couch. The way laughter became rare and then almost foreign. I remember one night clearly. I was in my late 50s. She asked me if I was happy. Not accusing, just tired. I said, "Of course, aren't you?" She nodded, but her eyes didn't agree. We never revisited that conversation. Then came the turning point. Not dramatic, not cinematic. She got sick. It started small. Fatigue, appointments, waiting rooms with old magazines. I went with her, of course. I was there physically. But when the doctor said the word terminal, something cracked open in me. Time collapsed. Suddenly, someday was gone. I wanted to talk then, really talk. I wanted to apologize for things I hadn't even named yet. I wanted to ask her questions I should have asked decades earlier. But illness doesn't wait for emotional readiness. She was tired, in pain, sometimes confused, sometimes withdrawn. We had moments, some good, some tender, but there was also so much we never reached. One afternoon, she looked at me and said very softly, "We did the best we knew how." I nodded. I agreed. But inside, I knew we could have done better if I'd known then what I know now. When she died, the grief wasn't just about losing her. It was about losing the chance to repair what we'd neglected. There are no do-overs at this age. What can't be fixed is the version of us that never existed. The deeper intimacy we never built. The conversations we postponed until silence took over. I live with gratitude. We raised children. We built a life. There was love, real love, but there was also absence, and absence leaves its own mark. Now, in the quiet, memories come uninvited, not the big events, the small moments I rushed through, the evenings I chose distraction over connection. I don't punish myself endlessly. That serves no one, but I don't lie to myself either. If you're listening to this, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I wasn't. I still am not. I'm only saying this. Pay attention to the quiet erosion, the small delays, the conversations you think can wait. They add up. Love isn't destroyed by one big mistake. It's worn down by many small ones that feel harmless at the time. If this meant something to you, sit with it. That's all. I don't have much time left. I've made peace with that. But if these words reach someone who still has years ahead, then maybe this confession serves a purpose beyond my own reflection. That would be enough. That would be something I didn't put off too long. And there's another truth I didn't say yet, because it's harder to admit out loud. We didn't just lose happiness because of what we did wrong. We lost it because we stopped noticing when it was slipping away. Happiness doesn't disappear all at once. It thins out, quietly, like hair falling one strand at a time. You don't panic over a few strands. You don't even see the pattern until the mirror tells you the truth years later. I think back to our 40s a lot now. That was the age where everything felt heavy but manageable. Kids growing, work demanding more, parents getting older, life pulling from all sides. That was when we told ourselves, this is just how it is right now. Right now lasted longer than we thought. We stopped asking each other real questions, not because we didn't care, because caring deeply felt like one more thing we didn't have the energy for. I remember coming home one night, setting my keys down and seeing her at the sink. She was washing dishes slowly, staring out the window like she was somewhere else. I asked, "Long day?" She said, "Yes." That was the whole conversation. I didn't ask where her mind was. I didn't step closer. I didn't dry my hands and take over so she could sit. I went to the living room and turned on the television. That moment didn't feel important at the time, but now I can see it clearly. It was one of 1,000 small exits we both took without realizing we were leaving each other. Another mistake we made was confusing peace with connection. There wasn't much yelling in our house, no slammed doors, no dramatic threats of leaving. People thought that meant we were strong, but silence can be just as destructive as noise. We avoided conflict because we thought it was mature. We thought love meant not rocking the boat. But what we were really doing was avoiding discomfort at the cost of honesty. There were things she wanted to say that never found a safe place to land. There were things I felt that I didn't know how to express without sounding weak. So we stayed polite. Politeness is a poor substitute for intimacy. As the years went on, we became very good roommates, efficient, respectful, predictable. We knew each other's routines, but not each other's inner lives. And then one day, you realize you're sharing a house with someone whose thoughts you no longer know. That realization is colder than loneliness. People talk about falling out of love. I don't think that's what happened to us. I think we fell asleep inside it. By the time we noticed, waking up felt impossible. After she passed, friends told me I was lucky. 62 years, they said. Most people don't get that. They meant well. I know that. But length alone doesn't tell the whole story. There are parts of her I will never know now, parts she carried quietly, thoughts she never shared because the door didn't feel open anymore. And I have to live with that. There's a particular kind of loneliness that comes from realizing someone shared your life, but not their full self. It's not blame, it's grief, mixed with understanding. I understand why we became the way we did. Life was demanding. We were tired. We were doing our best with what we knew. But understanding doesn't erase loss. Some nights I sit and talk to her anyway, not because I believe she can hear me, but because I finally have the courage to say the things I avoided when it mattered. I tell her I was scared. I tell her I didn't know how to be emotionally present. I tell her I thought love was something that would survive neglect. I don't know if that brings peace, but it brings honesty. If you're younger than I am and you're listening, I don't want you to panic or overcorrect. Life doesn't need grand emotional performances. It needs attention. Look at the small moments. Who you turn away from when you're tired. What conversations you postpone because they feel inconvenient. Ask yourself who you're becoming alongside the person you love, not who you were, not who you plan to be someday, who you are right now. Because right now is the only place love can live. I don't say this with bitterness. I say it with clarity that only comes when there's nothing left to protect. I loved my wife. I still do. But love alone didn't save us from distance. Presence might have. Now, at 82, my days are simple. Morning light, medication bottles, quiet afternoons, memories that arrive without warning. I don't regret my entire life. That wouldn't be fair. But I regret the times I chose comfort over connection, silence over vulnerability, later over now. Those choices felt harmless in the moment. They were not. I don't have a lesson to sell you. I don't have answers that fix anything. I only have a lived truth. Happiness doesn't vanish suddenly. It fades when you stop tending to it. And once it's gone, you don't get to ask for it back. This is me telling the truth before I run out of time. That's all this is.